Hey, it's Kevin with Juggernaut USA, and we're going to run through the 2020 Plus Super Duty skid plate installation today. Let's get started. All right, so the first step here is we're behind the axle. This is the engine cross member oil pan here. We're going to remove this coolant line here. It's just a little plastic clip. You got a clip tool, that'll help a lot. We'll just get that underneath, pry that out, and for the installation of the front bracket, we'll just push this up out of the way so that we get access to the mounting holes in the engine cross member here. All right, so we got the front bracket here. I've already installed the 3/8 clip nuts. The barrel side of this is going to be going up, just like the orientation here. And I'm going to show you the spacers we're going to use. There's a couple on the front here, so I'm just going to show you off the vehicle to make it a little more clear, and then we'll go ahead and throw it on. So we'll get 3 of these 3/8 bolts with a washer started on this bracket. Settle this down. And so this is the passenger side of the vehicle, and this would be the driver's side. And the passenger side and the center one just get one of the 2-inch outer diameter washers. And then this one's gonna sandwich through a larger hole on the engine cross member. So this one has one, and then there's a 1.5-inch smaller washer, which will go on top. And then you'll place this up to the engine cross member, just like this. This will go on the back side, create a sandwich. And then on the other side of the engine cross member, we'll do a washer and a nylock nut on each one of these. This is just a visual representation so you can kind of see how everything's going. It'll be just like that, but let's go do it on the car. All right, so we got the front bracket ready here. I've already put the 3/8 bolts with the washers on this side of the bracket, and there's gonna be 3 2-inch spacers here and one of the 1.5-inch spacers here. It is worth noting that if you have a newer F250 only, you will not be using this middle bolt. There's no hole in the engine cross member on the newer F250s. All the rest of the Super Duties will use all 3 bolts. So once we got it like this, we'll go ahead and slide this up to the cross member. These will slide through these holes, just like that. We'll hold that up here. And on the driver's side, there's one more large washer that goes on top of that 1.5-inch washer that we had already on the bracket, just like that. And then we'll use one of our grade 8 washers on all 3 of these bolts. And one of our 3/8 nylocks. Just like that. And it is worth noting, this last hole on the driver's side here is on a slightly curved surface, so we will tighten this till this back aluminum washer deforms to the curved surface here. So that's right around 35 foot-pounds. All right, for these 3/8 bolts, we'll be using a 9/16 socket and wrench to tighten these. Again, it's 35 foot-pounds for that torque. All right, so we got our front bracket installed behind us. Next, we're gonna install some clip nuts. I already got one of them installed. We provide 3/8 clip nuts here. If you have a factory transfer case on an FX4 or Tremor model, we will remove those clip nuts. I'll show you over here how we're gonna do that. I'll get these installed real quick. Good tip for these is inserting these by hand, just enough to get it where these are exposed. If you get a flathead screwdriver and hold that perpendicular and just tap that in till it clips into place. Definitely helps save your fingers a little bit. And we'll show you removing these factory ones. The flathead is useful again. There's a little retainer clip in there. If you just wiggle that in, these guys will slide pretty much right out. There we go. Do the same for this guy. We do recommend using our clip nuts. They are a bit stronger than these factory ones, which are prone to breaking. All right, so on this rear transmission crossmember here, on the driver's side, we're gonna be using those 3/8 clip nuts that we just installed. On the passenger side here, we're gonna use this serrated flange nut and this M12 bolt with the stainless washer there. How this is gonna work is we're gonna put this serrated flange bolt with the serrated part down, just reach over here. Obviously, we'll do this with the skid plate installed. This is just to show you without the skid plate in the way. And basically, you can thread this in by hand here with the skid plate. And the way these serrated flange nuts will work is it'll grab onto the frame. So once we get this having a little pressure with the skid plate on here, the nut itself will hold it. So you don't need to put a wrench in here or anything like that. Just turning this, the serrations on that flange nut will grab it. All right, for all the clip nuts that we're using, anything that doesn't have a locking nut, so including this serrated flange nut and M12, you're gonna be getting a small tube of blue Loctite. We have a big one here in the shop, but we'll put some blue Loctite on these threads before we install them. So we'll go ahead and put that on all the threads of the 3/8 bolts that are going into the clip nuts. And we'll also do it on the one M12 bolt that's going into that serrated nut. And we're putting this blue Loctite on because it'll help these bolts not work loose with any of the vibrations down the road or anything like that. Just making sure that your skid plate is on securely. All right, we're ready to put the skid plate on. Couple notes. If you're doing the transfer case as well, you're gonna wanna hold off on these back 3/8 bolts until we get that transfer case mounted. If you're not doing the transfer case, you can use these immediately. But what we'll do is we'll start with the front. It is a little bit of a longer skid plate, so sometimes it's helpful to have a partner. But essentially, we'll line up the skid plate with the front bracket that we installed already. Do you want to put your hand on the back of that? Yeah. Alrighty. And so we'll line up these slots on the front here with the clip nuts on the front bracket. And we'll thread these 3/8 bolts into the front here. We can just get these a few turns at first, and then we'll move to the back. And since we are doing the transfer case as well, we'll do the serrated nut side. So we'll put this serrated nut into the transmission crossmember. Get our M12 bolt. We'll thread that in. Getting that started, it is helpful to have a finger on that nut just to hold it from spinning. We'll just leave that hand tight for now so we can slide this back and forth on the slots. And if you're just doing the engine transmission, you can do the 2 3/8 bolts here, and then we can tighten everything up and you'll be done. We're gonna throw the transfer case on, which goes on top of this. And so we'll do that right now. All right, so we're gonna throw the transfer case skid plate on now. This does go on top of the engine transmission skid. So we'll line these up with the clip nuts that we had installed earlier. And again, these are our 3/8 bolts. Get these started by hand. Then we'll come out to the outside of the frame rail here. These installed. Alrighty, and with that installed, we can make sure everything's square and lined up, and we can tighten all the bolts. All of these are going to be 35 foot-pounds for the 3/8. Same for this M12 bolt, and we should be good to go. And so this M12 bolt is a 19mm socket. Again, it is helpful to hold that nut until you get a little bit of pressure on there. And once you got a little bit of pressure, that nut will hold, so you can tighten it from there, and we should be good to go. All right, so we'll take a look at our oil drain access. So on the diesel skid, we've got a removable filter panel right here. It's gonna look the same on the 7.3 and 6.8. On the 6.2, it's gonna be on the driver's side. They all have the same panel here, just a little bit different size and shape and orientation, but same approach. You can remove these. We'll pull that down so that we get access to the oil filter right here. And we don't want to go crazy tight with these riv nuts. I'd say somewhere between 10, 15 foot-pounds, something like that will be sufficient to hold the panel on. When we're tightening this back up, we just want to make sure that this flange here aligns with this, so we'll hold that up tight, just like that. And that's reinstalled. All right, so we're going to take off this oil drain plug panel so we can see the access we have here. All right, and you can see the drain plug right in there. Plenty of access to get in there.